Hello, welcome back to ManSpeak. Last time we talked about self-talk, and that is that inner voice, that voice that just never shuts up. But here is the thing, your self-talk doesn't come out of nowhere. It is rooted in something deeper. It is rooted in who you believe you are. And that is where the identity and the labels come in. Let me ask you something. What labels are you carrying around right now? And more importantly, who gave them to you? Because if you don't stop and challenge those labels, you might be living under someone else's script for your life. Someone else's script for your life. That is, as I'm saying it, I'm thinking, what a dreadful thought. So labels start young. Sometimes they start really young, at school, in family, on the sports field. You the clever one is a label. You the screw up is also a label. You're the quiet one. You're the troublemaker. You're the rebel. You're the black sheep of the family. Here is the crazy part. We carry those words often without even realizing it. I once worked with this guy. He was in his late 30s. He was brilliant at what he did. But every time he had to speak up in a meeting, he froze. Not because he didn't know what to say. It was because when he was 9 years old, he stumbled over a sentence in class. It is such a silly, seemingly silly and small thing. The kids laughed and the teacher said, "Oh, he's shy." That one word, shy. That became his label. And 30 years later, the label still had him by the throat. So maybe you've had something similar. Maybe someone told you, you'll never amount to much. Or you're just like your father. Or you're useless with money. Those labels sink deep. And here's the kicker, you start living them out. Labels shape expectations, and expectations shape your actions. It's like being sentenced to a prison you didn't even know that you were in. Here is the uncomfortable truth. You will always act in line with who you believe you are. There will never be a discrepancy. You'll always act the way you think you are, in line with who you think you are. That's what your subconscious mind does. So think about this. If you believe you're unreliable, you'll always find, consciously or unconsciously, to prove it true. You'll find ways to prove it true. If you believe you're the angry guy, you'll keep blowing up at home or you'll keep blowing up at work. Identity is like an autopilot. It pulls you back into line with your belief. And now this is where it gets powerful. Identity can work for you instead of against you. Let's say your label is, I'm not confident. That's a dead end, right? But what if you reframe it as, I am a man learning confidence? See the difference? The first door is closed and the second door is open to a journey. Or take money, for example. I'm terrible with money. Wow, that locks you in. That's prison right there. But if you rather rewire your mind to say, I'm a man building financial discipline. I'm learning to work with money. That opens a pathway right there. So this is not about cheesy affirmations. I'm not crazy about affirmations. I'm not telling you to stand in front of the mirror saying to yourself, I am powerful, while your family wonders where you've lost the plot. I am talking about choosing identity statements that are true to the direction you are heading. But you have to identify the labels that exist already, the negative ones that you want to get rid of. So here's where we can laugh at ourselves. If you've been the angry guy for 20 years, don't go around telling everyone, from today, I'm the Zen master of inner peace or something like that, okay? They'll laugh you straight back into the angry guy box. Instead, you live it quietly. Just live it quietly. Live it consistently, day by day. Actions, not slogans. I think this is true for everybody. We should really be careful how and what we share with others. Until such time as you've made it out for yourself and started living your actions, living your newfound truth, I don't think there's any reason for people to know. So I want to help you to actually do this. Let me break it down. First, identify the labels that you have accepted. So, first thing to do, sit down with a pen and paper. Yes, please do pen and paper. It's just different. It just clicks differently with us. It resonates differently if we write it with a pen and paper as opposed to a device. Just even if it's a sticky note. I'm always surrounded by sticky notes. I'm looking around me now. I've got fantastic amounts of post-it notes here. So doesn't matter the size of the pen or the paper. Use pen and paper. Write it down. Brutally honest. Don't sugarcoat. Identify the labels you have accepted. Failure, weak, hothead, idiot, lazy, too much, forgetful, not enough, unlucky. I'm running out of negative things, but you get the drift, right? Get them out of your head and onto the page, onto the paper. Second thing, ask, who gave me this label? Ask yourself, who gave me this label? Identify the person who gave you this label, even if it's you. And then also identify, do I want to keep this label? Is it something I want to hang on to? So this is the part where many men have this aha moment, because often the label comes from someone who didn't even know what they were doing. Like it wasn't intentional, like a stressed parent or a careless teacher or an insecure boss. Now ask yourself, why in the world should their words still be running your life 5, 10, 20 years later? Now the third thing, replace false labels with chosen identity statements. So once again, this is not airy-fairy woo-woo stuff, affirmations you'll be shouting at yourself in the mirror. Choose the new thing. Choose the thing, the label that you want to call yourself instead of the thing that doesn't serve you, which is most probably not even yours to begin with. So here's the coaching tip. When you create these new statements, tie them to your values. Not just your goals in life, but to your values. Your values, maybe choose the 5 most important values, or your top 5 values in life. This is the reason for this. Goals change, but values are values. They anchor you. So if your value is integrity, your statement might be, I am a man who does what he says he will do. Or I do what I promised I'd do. Doing this will shape every part of your life. Imagine you walk into your week carrying just one new identity statement. Not 20 or 10 or 2, just one. And you act on it every day for 7 days. You live it for 7 days. How different could your week look? Imagine. Yeah? That is how powerful this is. Okay, and if you are sitting there thinking, I've been carrying toxic labels for decades and I don't even know where to start, this is where coaching comes in. I work one-on-one with men who are serious about changing, not guys who want a motivational pep talk, but men who want to dig deeper, who want to strip out lies, who want to build clarity and get practical tools to lead themselves and their families with confidence. If you know that's what you need, the links are in the description. We have to take action on these things. Now, I want to land everything with something deeper. Your truest identity is not the one your teacher, your boss, your siblings, whoever, even yourself, have spoken over your life. Your truest identity is the one God gives you. If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has gone, the new is here. That's 2 Corinthians 5:17. You're forgiven, you're chosen, you're free. And you must live like it. So yes, do the coaching work. Rewrite your labels. Build your new statements. Statements of truth. But don't forget, the deepest truth is this: you are who God says you are. Every ManSpeak episode gives you some practical activities to do, because listening alone is not going to change your life. So for this week, write down the labels you've been carrying. Number 2, rip them up. Literally. Tear the paper into a million little pieces. Tear it up. You can even bury it. I'm scared to say burn it, but if you can safely do so, burn it. Number 3, replace them with 1 or 2 identity statements that move you forward. Keep it simple. Do the work. That is how you grow. Thank you for joining me on ManSpeak today. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel and it spreads the word to men who need it. Until next time, take care. Mooi bly.